Hey everyone, I'm going to quickly blow through my November wrap up. Just a reminder there's important links down below, check those out if you have the time. Alright, so the first book of November that I finished Girls of Paper and Fire. Josie recommended that for me, and overall I really liked it. I'm excited to read the sequel next. Next I read Internment, which was basically, it was like a modern day Holocaust except with Muslims and the prejudice and harassment that they face a lot. I thought it was pretty good. Just there's heavy trigger warnings for it, so if you have questions, ask me and I'll see if I can help. Next I read Don't Call the Wolf, which was I feel like it was a pretty standard YA novel. It was pretty good. I enjoyed reading it, but I only gave it 3 stars because it didn't blow me away. So, next I read Mary Poppins Opens the Door, which I think is the 3rd Mary Poppins book. Still going strong on those. Next I read House of Dragons, which that one was another 3 stars because it didn't blow me away either. It just came out this year and there's supposed to be a sequel, so we will see if I like the sequel any better. I think overall the writing was really hard to follow, at least for me, and there was 6 different main characters and it switched from their perspectives, and I didn't really ever feel like I got to know the main characters very well, and so it was hard to stick with them. Next I read Fairest, which was a reread. I read it in a couple years ago. It was pretty good. I thought it was cute. Just another children's novel I was rereading. And then next I read Deathless Divide, which is the sequel to Dread Nation by Justina Ireland, and that was really good. I really enjoyed reading the sequel. I think the first book and the sequel definitely the sequel takes place right after the first book, but then there's also a gap in the book of time, a gap of time. So to me they seemed very distinct. It wasn't like how a series flows really well. They were 2 distinct books. Next we had The Wrath and the Dawn, which I feel like people have been getting on me to read that for the past couple months, and I loved it. So I'm actually getting the sequel today, so you will see my thoughts on it with the December wrap up. It had some enemies to lovers, which I really enjoyed, but it wasn't a major theme. I still need to read These Violent Delights, which I heard was a really big enemies to lovers book, which I'm really excited to read. So I have that on hold, waiting for it. Next we have Women in Power and Manifesto, which if you are familiar with Dr. Mary Beard, she wrote the book, I believe it's called SBQR. It's on Roman history. Still getting around to reading that, but I saw Women in Power at the library and I checked it out because I just wanted to see what it was about. It's actually really short. It's probably that big, 100 pages. And it was really interesting. She included a lot of really cool art pictures in it, which I really enjoyed. Next I read Where Dreams Descend, which the title and the cover had me thinking it was going to be a really magical, mystical sort of piece. It was more of a mystery and I want to say more of a thriller, sort of, not majorly, but it's a YA novel, it was pretty good. I think I gave it 3 stars too. There's supposed to be a sequel later, because Where Dreams Descend I think came out this year. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. Like, it was just more of a pleasurable read than like a wow, this was like amazing, completely blew me away. Next I read Thunderhead, which is the second book of the Scythe trilogy, and the plot twist completely just like I'm really excited for the third book, which is the final book, and then I'm really excited see what's gonna happen to the 2 main characters, because something could happen. We don't know yet. Then next I read Romanov, which I originally saw on Goodreads, and so I was excited to read it because I love the Romanov family. But to my disappointment, it treated the Romanov family more like a fairy tale and non-traumatic event. So basically the premise of the book is that there's magic, like witch like magic, I guess, and so Anastasia practices a little bit, and so she uses it to escape with her younger brother Alexei. And then, she still like witnessed the whole event that happened, like the whole thing with her family and like being killed, but she just doesn't have trauma. She doesn't mourn over the fact that her family's dead. To me, it was really unrealistic, and it was disconnected from the original events. Next I read How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories, which was really cute. I like Holly Black's writing style. I know a lot of people agreed with this. There was a desire for more of Jude and Carden. Overall, I thought that the book was multiple little stories that connected to an overall plot, which I thought was really interesting. And then next I read Wonder Woman Warbringer, which, if you've seen my Goodreads account, it's been on there since like July, because I had an ebook, and then the ebook turned back in, and then I just haven't gotten around to finishing it. So I finally checked out a physical copy from the library and finished it, and it was really good. The writing style, it's written by Leigh Bardugo. It was pretty like concrete writing, but I wasn't very interested in the story. I felt like the story was really bland, and I feel like it was basically the movie except in modern day with a girl instead of Steve Trevor. That was my view on it. So, Leigh Bardugo's writing, great. Plot, no. And then lastly, I read The Lady Rogue. It's a standalone novel. Personally, I didn't love it because I didn't like the plot very much. It reminded me a lot of like a female Indiana Jones with like mystery and whatever, but it just, for me, it didn't click. So as far as my Goodreads goal, I believe I have to read like 12 more books this month. Oh, 9. I'm 3 books ahead of schedule as of right now. So I have a whole ton of books checked out from the library. I'm reading a few bigger titles that have been recommended to me that I haven't read yet. So Evelyn Hugo, I have that right now. I have that stack of books right there, and a couple ebooks. So I will see you all soon. Check back up in a month, and we'll see if I actually hit my Goodreads goal or not. So yeah, see y'all later.